What is good, ladies and gentlemen? We are here tonight to discuss Dragon Ball Daima. That's right, the latest series in the Dragon Ball franchise. It's not Dragon Ball Super. It's not a continuation of Dragon Ball Super. But as far as we know, it is canon. And it's actually could be seen as a sort of prequel to Super because it takes place between Dragon Ball Z, between the fight with Kid Buu, and Dragon Ball Super, because Dragon Ball Super is like 5-6 years after the fight with Kid Buu, I believe. 5 or 6 years. I think it might be 5. I think it might be 5 exactly years after the fight with Kid Buu. Dragon Ball Daima instead takes place a year after the fight with Kid Buu. So we're still at least like 4 or 5 years before they actually meet Beerus, before the events of Battle of Gods. So there's no Super Saiyan God, there's no Ultra Instinct, there's no Super Saiyan Blue, there's no Ultra Ego, there's no Golden Frieza, there's no Beerus, there's no Whis. None of that stuff has happened yet. This is a year after the fight with Kid Buu. And you know it's a year after because they're celebrating Trunks' 9th birthday in the show, in the first episode. Now, surprisingly, like, here's the thing. This episode doesn't really focus on Goku and the gang very much at all. They do get a scene. They do get a brief scene at Trunks' birthday party. But other than flashbacks, they're really not focused on. It's just you get the gang in flashback. You get the gang at Trunks' birthday party, and then you get to see him at the very end of the episode, briefly, as the credits are about to roll, and that's it. Like, it's not really focused on them. The characters that it's really focused on are the 3 characters you see on your screen right now. These are really the ones that get the major focus in the first episode, which is an interesting choice because, again, Goku is the face of the franchise. Goku is he's the moneymaker, and he doesn't get a lot of focus at all in this episode. So I found that to be pretty interesting. Let's Let's see what the chat is saying. Finally, not late for once. I am this guy, man. I swear to God. Failure, I love you. Fuck you, but I love you. I love you, but fuck you. Yeah, what's up, Tevin? It's after Boo, but before Super. Yes. It's a year after the fight with Boo, but a few years before they meet Beerus. There's already Rule 34 of the female. Yo, there's already Rule 34 of the female demon doctor. Fuck. You know what? Fuck it. I didn't want to keep this channel anyways. Let's go look it up. Y'all want to? Let's go look it up. Let's go look it up, shall we? Fuck it. Let's do it. YOLO, you only live once. Let's do it. Actually, you know what? Let's not. Let's fucking not. All right. Let's we're gonna get to 1,000 subs at some point. All right. So let's not, shall we? Let's not. So I am looking up real quick because I got to be honest with you. Like, it's hard for me to remember these characters' names. I'll figure them out eventually as time goes on. I know the doctor is Dr. Erensu. I remember that. I remember that because that kind of rolls off the tongue. Erensu, rolls off the tongue. But yeah, I gotta look at the names for these characters. We've got one that's like the Demon King. We've got the other Makaioshin, and oh, by the way, let me go ahead and say this before we get too deep into this. This will be a spoiler stream. We are going to be delving into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the episode, go see it. I encourage you to see it, then come back here and check out the stream. But we are going to be going into spoilers. So you have been warned. You have been warned. And I did send out the invite to a few people. We'll see if they can make it. I don't know if they'll be able to make it or not. I know Tony's streaming tonight. Tony's streaming every night, dog. Tony streams every single night. It's wild, man. Katie streamed this morning, but I'm always at work on Monday, so I can never join her. I don't know. Maybe Ruby King will jump in here. We'll see. I sent the invite to Extra Hero. I don't know. Maybe Katie can hop in because I don't think she's on Tony's stream yet. No, I don't think she is. I don't know. Maybe Father Hostage will hop up in here. It's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a minute, dog. All right, so here we go, man. Here we go. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Let's go ahead and talk about this. So, like I said, this show doesn't really focus on Goku that much, or the first episode doesn't. The first episode does not focus on the main cast that much. They're shown in flashbacks. They're shown for a brief scene at Trunks' party, and then they're shown in a scene at the very end of the episode when the credits start rolling. Other than that, our main focus is on these three characters right here. That being, two of them are Makaioshin. Two of them are the Demon Supreme Kais that Toriyama has talked about in interviews. So we've been waiting to see for a very long time. And finally, here we go. We've got our official Demon Supreme Kais. Our Demon Supreme Kais. The Makaioshin. Now, for a long time, people were wondering, okay, like what actually qualifies as a Makaioshin? Because if you look at like some material that came out before like Xenoverse and stuff, you did have like the sister of Deborah, Toa, and people were wondering, okay, is Deborah a Makaioshin? Is Toa a Makaioshin? Well, the series seems to confirm that no, they're not. They're just demons. They're just inhabitants of the demon realm, and Deborah is the king of the demon realm. But there are specifically Makaioshin. There are specifically demon realm supreme Kais, and we'll dive into the lore behind the demon realm supreme Kais here in a little bit. But the one that looks a lot like the supreme Kai that we know, the male Kaioshin that we see here in this picture. Over here on the side, the one that's got like the open smile. This guy over here, his name is actually Degasu, and of course in the middle we have Dr. Arensu, and these are both Makaioshin. And interestingly enough, they actually refer to our Supreme Kai, the Supreme Kai of the mortal world, Shin. They refer to him as their sibling. They refer to him as their brother, which is interesting, but I'm not sure if it's literally like they're actually if they're actually like siblings, like in the traditional sense. And what I mean is that if you look at the lore surrounding the Supreme Kais, the Kais in general, the Kai race, they don't really have parents. They don't really have like a mom and a dad. Like it's not even like the Namekians where, they're reproducing asexually. Kais are actually grown from magical trees, from divine trees. So let me go ahead. I'm going to pull this up for you guys. Because I do want to go a bit into this point, and I'm going to go throughout through different points throughout this stream. So let me go ahead and pull up the page on the Kai race, which is the Shinjin, also known as the core people. So I'm going to pull this up for you guys. It's from Dragon Ball Wiki. We'll read it. We'll go into it. We'll talk about it, because when they refer to Shin as being their brother, I don't think they mean in the traditional sense like they share parents. I don't think that's the case. So let's go ahead and look at this. So this is the Dragon Ball. This is the Dragon Ball Wiki article on the Shinjin, which is the name of the Kai race. They're also known as the core people. So this goes into their like what they are, like where they come from. But we have like different types of core people. So here's the overview of them. Let's go ahead and jump into this. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and jump into this. This will explain to you exactly what the core people are, how the Shinjin are born, how they become the Kais. Let's jump into this. So, and this is all stuff from a Toriyama interview from years and years and years and years and years ago, like after the series ended, but before Dragon Ball Super happened. This is stuff that Toriyama said in interviews. So let's go ahead and we'll jump into this. All right, so here we go. So it says here, let me zoom in on this just a little bit so you guys can actually see it better. Is that good? That should be good. All right, there we go. All right, here we go. So the core people are born from magical fruits that grow off of the kaiju, appearing as male and female. Now, the kaiju is, of course, the divine tree. Let's go ahead and pull that article up. I'll show you guys that real quick. The out of my way ad. The kaiju, literally translated trees of worlds, are gigantic magical trees found on the world core. Now, the world core is the home planet of the Shinjin, the home planet of the Kais. That's where the divine trees are grown. All right, let's go back to the divine tree real quick. These trees grow magical apple-shaped fruits, which in turn sprout a race of deities known as core people. Some core people are selected to possibly become Kai, or if born from a golden fruit, automatically become Supreme Kai. Evil core people born from the fruit are cast into the demon realm ruled by Demon Supreme Kai in order to be separated from civilizations, and they become Demon Kai. It is also possible for core people who have attained the position of Kai to be promoted to the position of Supreme Kai, as shown by Kranoa after she raised the divine bird Toki Toki. That's a Xenoverse thing, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, it just goes into like Kranoa's backstory. That's not important. And of course, Zamasu is actually a regular Kai, and then he got promoted to being a Supreme Kai as well. Let me look at the Demon Kai real quick. King of the Demon. So is it actually referring to Deborah? That might be. Hold on. That might be. Yeah, that might. I think that's a Yeah, it's a mistake on the wiki's part. It's not confirmed yet that Deborah is a Kai in any way. Anyways, let's continue. All right. Yo, these ads, man. Fuck these ads. All right, let's continue. So the article continues. The average core person possesses special abilities that far surpass that of any sort of untrained normal being. Core people live leisurely lives, studying various things at a castle-like school. A core person's lifespan is roughly 75,000 years. However, those born from golden magical fruits can live for several millions of years. That, of course, being the Supreme Kais. Whenever one of the Kai on the Kai planets pass away, the core people draw lots among themselves to choose who will take the Kai's place and become a new Kai. The Supreme Kais, however, are chosen only from among core people born from a special golden fruit that is particularly rare. And this really does explain why, because remember in the backstory for the Buu Saga and the flashbacks, it was shown that there was like 4 or 5 Supreme Kais and only one survived, that being Shin. and the other have not been replaced yet. And that's because these golden fruits that Supreme Kais are born from is very, very rare. So in all that time, I think Boo like first attacked like 5 million years ago. So in 5 million years, there has not been a new Supreme Kai born for Universe 7. Pretty fascinating. All right, let's continue. However, it is possible for a Kai to attain the position of Supreme Kai, as shown by Cronoa, who became the Supreme Kai of Time after she raised Toki Toki into an adult. Additionally, Goasu was originally training Zamasu to become a Supreme Kai, and briefly made him a temporary Supreme Kai so he could use a time ring that could travel 1,000 years into the future to observe how the barbarian had oh god, I can't pronounce this race's name. The barbarian had progressed as a species. Then it goes into like some Dragon Ball Hero stuff. Again, not important. All core people possess sharply pointed ears. This is kind of interesting. This brings up an interesting plot point later. Core people born from ordinary fruit have a humanoid appearance, so their appearance is distinct from humans. And golden fruit core people sometimes possessing traits such as whiskers. Core people born from the golden fruit all have the same general appearance, usually possessing mohawks and closely resembling humans, only differing in hair/skin color and other minor details. Occasionally, there are core people who are born evil. Those delinquent core people are cast into the demon realm, ruled by the demon Supreme Kai, where they live with the king of the demon realm and are secluded from civilizations. However, as shown by the incarnations of Zamasu, it is possible for a pure-hearted core person to become evil later in life, as future Zamasu and Goku Black were driven to exterminate mortals due to the shared belief that mortals were a blight upon the multiverse and even murdered their fellow gods due to them allowing mortals to continue to exist. With the exception of future Zeno, which ultimately doomed his plans to failure when future Zeno erased infinite Zamasu after being summoned by Goku using the Zeno button. All right, so that's a basic rundown on the Kai race. So that brings us back to Daima. And now you guys understand what a Makaio-shin is. You understand their purpose, why they're here, what they're here for, and how it all relates to Dragon Ball Daima. So they basically are advisors to the Demon King. And of course, before the time of Dragon Ball Daima, the Demon King was Deborah. And we learn in Dragon Ball Daima that before Deborah, the Demon King was someone named Abora. Of course, that being a pun on abracadabra, with Deborah's name in the Japanese version simply being Dabra. So they were the reigning monarchs of the demon realm, and they had these Makaio-shin as their advisors, essentially, advising the Demon King. That's basically what Degasu and Arensu are. They are advisors to the Demon King. Well, now Deborah is dead. Deborah was killed by Boo, of course. This was pretty shocking to the demon realm. We see at the beginning of the episode, and this is so cool, man. Like what we saw is they did like a whole flashback to different points in the series, and I'll bring it up here in a little bit. But we see them watching like all these different points in the series. They're really focused on Goku and his friends. They're focused on the Dragon Balls. And they really focus on the Boo saga because that's, of course, where Deborah died. They were shocked to see that Goku defeated Majin Buu. They were aware of Majin Buu, which makes sense because Toriyama did confirm in an interview, again, years ago, that the Demon Realm is a place where wizards like Bobbity like to hang out. So it makes sense that they were aware of Bobbity's existence and Boo's existence because Boo is a type of demon. But now with Deborah out of the way, the last character, the character on the other side of Degasu, named Goma, is apparently next in line to be the Demon King. The dude with the weird makeup and, you know, he's got the red under the eyes and he's got the black horns. Apparently he's up next to be the Demon King. He's going to take Deborah's place, which makes me wonder, how is this guy connected to Deborah? Because, again, before Deborah, the Demon King was Abora, his father. Then it passed to Deborah, and now it's passing to Goma. And so I'm wondering, what claim does he have to the throne? Is he Deborah's son? I don't know. Like, how is he related to Deborah? Now, this kind of goes into Xenoverse and the existence of Toa, because in Xenoverse, we learned that Toa is Deborah's sister. And it kind of makes me wonder, okay, wait a minute. Let's just say that Goma isn't Deborah's son. Let's say he's not related to Deborah. All right. If the throne passed from Deborah's father to Deborah, and let's say Deborah did not have any kids, he didn't have any successors, any heirs, wouldn't it make sense then for the throne of the demon realm to pass to Toa, who I presume is the second born of the demon realm royal family? So wouldn't it make sense that it would pass to Toa? And if not, does that mean that Toa doesn't actually exist in canon? Because it's been debated heavily as to whether Toa and Mira and Fu, which are all these demon realm characters from Xenoverse, from the video games, it's been debated heavily if they're canon or not. Toriyama did create these characters, and that's why a lot of people assume that they are canon, but there's no sign of Toa at all. She's not shown at all in this episode. Maybe she'll pop up later in the series. So this episode would seem to imply that Toa is not canon. Otherwise, wouldn't she have the strongest claim to the throne of the demon realm? Again, assuming that Goma is not Deborah's son, because they never state like how Goma is related to Deborah and why he has a claim on the throne of the demon realm. All they say is that with Deborah gone, Goma is now Demon King. But they never explain why. They never explain what his claim to the throne is. Maybe this is something that we'll learn as time goes on. There does seem to be, from what I understand about some of the rumors going around about this series, there does seem to be a bit of a Game of Thrones type of thing going on here, where there's going to be a lot of politics involved. There's going to be a lot of, because apparently not everybody in the demon realm wants Goma to take the throne. So we'll see how it turns out. Anyways. So these three characters are focused on checking out the events of the Boo saga, and they go into some very interesting flashbacks. So I'm going to pull that up next. So we get some flashbacks back to the Boo saga. The animation is beautiful, and I thought what was interesting about the animation in this series is that it's not really Dragon Ball Super level quality, and that's a good thing, because Dragon Ball Super, sometimes its animation was quite a mess. There was certain episodes where it was like, ew. But I wouldn't say that it's not like the 3D CGI stuff we got in Superhero. And it's not really like the Broly film, which I think has had the best animation in modern Dragon Ball. It's somewhere between Dragon Ball Super's animation and the Broly movies animation. It's somewhere in between those two. It gives me a lot of Dragon Ball GT vibes. It really does. Like, everything about the art style, the ambience, the general vibe gives me a lot of Dragon Ball GT vibes, man. It really does. But yeah, like, there is some very beautiful just like flashbacks showing like a lot of interesting moments from Dragon Ball's past, remade with modern animation. I mean, it's freaking gorgeous, man. I mean, you're seeing some of it on screen right now. Like, this is when Babidi and Deborah are introduced. This is really, really good. It shows like Raditz. It shows like, here's like Goku, like, when he defeated Kid Buu. And these flashbacks, again, the episode's like 32 minutes long, which for a standard anime episode is actually extended, because most of the time your standard anime episode is going to be 20 minutes long, but this one was like 32 minutes. And I would say probably the first 10 minutes of the episode is taken up by these flashbacks, but they're so beautiful. Like, look at this image of Cell, man. Like, this is sexy. Are you kidding me? This is beautiful. So I didn't really mind. And plus, it makes sense because you never know who's going to be watching this series. You would assume that people watching this have seen the other series in the Dragon Ball franchise. You would assume that, but you never know. There could be people that this could be their first exposure to Dragon Ball. This could be the first Dragon Ball series that they're watching. So they wanted to get people caught up on the events of everything that happened before Daima, which is, of course, the original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super. But no, the imagery is absolutely freaking beautiful, dog. It really kind of makes me want a remake. Like I really want a remake of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z after seeing this. Look at this Kid Buu image, man. Like this is gorgeous. This is nice. This is beautiful. But yeah, like you have the Degasu, you have Arensu, and you have Goma, and they're watching all of these events, and they're just shocked that Deborah could be killed. They're shocked that Goku and his friends defeated Majin Buu. And so they're concerned that Goku and his friends may become a threat to the demon realm and to Goma's rule. So they decide, all right, we've got to do something. We've got to take care of these guys. We got to make sure that they don't become a problem later on. So let's go use the Dragon Balls. Now, what we find out is that there's actually Dragon Balls, a set of Dragon Balls that exist in the demon realm, which is interesting. And what's even more interesting is why the Dragon Balls are there. And this set of Dragon Balls, it's not a set of 7. Rather, it's a set of 3. It's 3 Dragon Balls. And this is something that is also in the Super manga, where there's a set of Dragon Balls on another planet. This is in the Granola arc. And this set only contains 2 Dragon Balls. There's only 2 Dragon Balls in this set. And it was made by this other Namekian dude. It's a long story. But yeah, like each set of Dragon Balls doesn't have to be 7. Like you can have fewer than that. Maybe more than that. I don't know. But the Demon Realm Dragon Balls are made of a set of 3. And you may be asking, wait a minute. How do they have Dragon Balls in the Demon Realm? Don't you need a Namekian for that? Yes, you do. You do need a Namekian for that. And guess what? There is a Namekian living in the Demon Realm. It's this old dude right here, man. Yo, it's this old commie looking dude. He shows up in the series. Oh, here's a good picture of him. Here we go. So it's this old commie looking dude, and he's a Namekian from the Demon Realm. And what we find out, and this, oh my God, dude, this is how I knew this series is going to be really, really good. There is so much lore and backstory that is introduced, new stuff, new lore, new backstory, new world building that we've never had before. And it makes so much sense. Oh my God. So one of the biggest questions that people have had for the longest is, okay, you have Deborah, who is the king of the demon realm, the demon king, right? But before that, in OG Dragon Ball, you had who? Demon King Piccolo. That's right, Demon King Piccolo. So the question was, wait a minute, how can Piccolo be a demon king when Deborah is king of the demons? And also, why would Piccolo be a demon king when he's an Namekian, an alien, right? He's not a demon. He's a slug person, as the abridged series would say. Well, and this surprised the hell out of me. I wasn't expecting this. They actually explain this. They actually give us a reason for all of this. And I was like, wow. Like, I never expected that plot inconsistency to get resolved. But Toriyama, writing this series, rest in peace, my dude, actually went out of his way to explain this and solve this plot inconsistency. And it turns out that Namekians are actually demons. it is revealed in Dragon Ball Daima episode 1 that the Namekian race originates from the demon realm. They, at some point in the ancient past, the Namekians, they migrated from the demon realm to the regular universe and settled on planet Namek. That I was not expecting. But now when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. So they're not really aliens. They're demons. They're demons who originate from the demon realm, and they just migrated from the demon realm and settled on planet Namek in the ancient past. And this is where we get the revelation that all demons have the pointy ears. All demons have the pointy ears. Like, that's actually a plot point. Like, if you're from the demon realm, you have pointy ears. I'm like, dog, that's wild. But it makes sense now. So King Piccolo is actually a demon. So when he calls himself Demon King Piccolo, he's not the king of the demon realm, but he was trying to take over Earth. And for a brief period, he did rule the Earth as a king, and he's a demon. Hence, Demon King Piccolo. I'm like, that makes a lot of fucking sense. Like, that fixes the plot inconsistency. He was a demon king. He's not the demon king. That's Deborah, or it was Deborah, but he was a demon king. And I'm like, whoa, dude. This is what I'm talking about. Like, this is the lore. This is the backstory. This is the world building that I want to see, bro. That I want to see. That's good shit, man. I was actually taken aback. I was like, I cannot fucking believe we're actually getting an explanation for this. I loved it. And I'm like, dude, like, if this is the type of world building we're going to get in the series, oh my God, Daima's going to be a gem. This is going to be some good shit. Let's go. I mean, it's already good because we're exploring concepts that Toriyama talked about years ago before Super came out. The Demon Realm, Makaioshin. Like, all of that was stuff that was talked about before Super was even a thing. Oh my God, it's fantastic. Failure says, did Dragon Ball end? What do you mean? End in what way? I mean, Dragon Ball's ended multiple times. I mean, it ended back in the day when Toriyama finished the manga, back in the 90s. It ended again when GT finished, the anime ended. The Super anime technically ended, but come on, let's be real, it's going to be coming back. I'm assuming you're talking about the Dragon Ball Super manga. No, the Dragon Ball Super manga is going to return. They are going to continue the manga, absolutely. That's already been talked about. They are going to continue the manga with Toyotaro as the head writer. That's what everything seems to be pointing to. But no, I'm like, dog, if this is the type of lore, like if they fix the King Piccolo inconsistency, that's something I wasn't expecting. But they went out of their way to do it. Like, this is exciting, man. This is exciting. All right, so let's continue. So they need to use the Dragon Balls in order to ensure Goku and his friends are not going to be a threat to the Demon Realm. However, they can't use the Dragon Balls in the Demon Realm because this old-ass Namekian won't let them. He's the guardian of these Dragon Balls, and each one of these 3 Dragon Balls in the Demon Realm is protected by, like, these robot guardians. I'm like, okay, that's going to be interesting. You know Goku's going to fight these things later. You know he's going to fight these things later. Come on, man. But they decide to go to Earth and use Earth's Dragon Balls in order to deal with Goku and his friends. However, they understand that Shenron is probably not going to grant an evil wish. Like, oh, Shenron, kill Goku and his friends. Like they know that's not going to happen. So they decide instead, okay, if we can't kill Goku and his friends, let's weaken them. And the way we're going to weaken them is by turning them into kids. So you have Degasu, you have Arensu, you have Goma, you have this old ass Namekian from the demon realm. They all head into Universe 7. They head to Earth and they pop up on Kami's lookout. Well, I guess it's Dende's lookout now. Dende and Mr. Popo are there, and they Degasu bitch slaps Dende. Like he just goes, yeah, just a chop. Like, yeah, like back off, kid. And this old ass Namekian, he's scary, man. Like he comes off as goofy to begin with, but he's got some interesting powers. Guess what he does? So the Dragon Balls are still turned to stone, right? Because remember, this is after the fight with Boo. This is after the fight with Boo. And the last wish made on the Dragon Balls before all this was the wish to wipe Majin Buu from everybody's memory so that Fat Buu could live on Earth in peace. Well, the Dragon Balls, because of that, are still turned to stone because it's not quite been a year yet. But it doesn't matter because this old ass Namekian, he uses his Namekian magic. I don't know what the fuck he does, but he uses this power to summon the Dragon Balls to the lookout. So even though they're spread across the earth, they're turned into stone, he's able to bring them all to the lookout. And then what's more than that, this dude is actually able to awaken the Dragon Balls early. So, of course, it usually takes a year for them to return to normal from being stones. He speeds that process up and they're instantly back to normal. I'm like, what the hell? Like, this guy, his powers when it comes to the Dragon Balls, it's above Dende, it's above Kami, it's above Guru. No other Namekian has ever done this. And they summon Shenron and they make the wish for Goku and his friends to be turned into children. And that's how the episode ends. Goku and his friends are all turned into kids. We see them being turned into kids. They're like, whoa, what the hell is happening to us? The credits start playing. The credit music starts playing. And that's the end of the episode. So next episode, we're going to see them as kids. It's wild, man. Like there is some, honestly, it's intriguing. Like there is some real intriguing stuff here. And the new lore we're getting, I mean, it's, bro, like this is good. And I've heard people say like, this is better than Super. And honestly, yeah, it kind of is. Like, this is more of what I wanted from a continuation of Dragon Ball. I'm not going to lie. Like, this is some good stuff, man. Like, this is some really, really, really good stuff. I'm digging where this is going. I'm really, I can't wait, man. I thought it was amazing. I thought this episode was amazing. I can't wait for episode 2. Oh yeah, there's also like this sparring match between Goku and Vegeta. Great animation. But let's talk about the predictions for episode 2. Let's talk about the predictions for episode 2 and where this is going. I did see a preview of what's going to happen in this episode that was released. I think it was released a month ago. But the next episode is titled Glorio, and Glorio is a character we see briefly in this episode. I'll pull up his image real quick. Let's see if I can actually get the shot of him in this episode. Not Gloria. Glorio. My bad. Glorio. Yeah, here we go. So this is Glorio, and he's seen briefly in Goma's palace, and he's like spying on Arenzu and Degasu and Goma having their conversation. He's just sitting there spying on them. Glorio is going to be teaming up with Goku and his friends. And there's also this character named Pansy She's like a female demon. She's going to be teaming up with Goku and his friends, and they're going to be teaming up with Goku. I know that in the next episode is titled Glorio. They're all the characters are going to meet up at the lookout, probably trying to figure out what the hell happened to us, what's going on. Glorio, I've seen a scene where Glorio shows up at the lookout asking for Goku and friends' help. What does he need help with? I don't know. It's not revealed in the scene. It's not talked about. We don't know what Glorio is trying to do, but he does need Goku and his friends' help. And it's Glorio that takes Goku and his friends to the demon realm. Now, it probably ties in with what I talked about before, which is the whole conspiracy and the politics of the demon realm and who's going to be the demon king and the successor to Deborah. Like, it probably ties into all that, and he probably doesn't want Goma to be the demon king. He's probably got somebody else in mind. Maybe Goma is a pretender to the throne. I mean, that could be it. Like, Goma could be a pretender to the throne. He could be a pretender to the throne. He could be trying to take it away from Deborah's family. And Glorio actually wants Deborah's rightful heir, maybe Deborah's son, or maybe even Toa, to become the ruler of the demon world. And that's what he's trying to do. Just speculation. So I expect in the next episode should be a shorter episode, but I expect in the next episode, Glorio is going to show up. He's going to bring them into the demon world. My guess is that the episode is probably going to end with them entering the demon realm. I don't think we're going to get to explore it much in the next episode. They'll probably enter the demon realm, and that's where the episode's going to end. Yeah, that's my speculation. It's probably going to be like, you're going to have scenes of like Goku and his friends being like, oh my God, what happened to us? Why are we kids again? Blah, 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 blah. Glorio shows up and he's, does a bunch of exposition. Then they enter the demon realm, and it's going to end with them like falling into the demon realm or something, something like that. That would be my guess. And then probably episode 3 is when we'll meet Pansy, would be my guess. The female demon that we've seen from all the trailers. That would be my guess. Now, the other interesting thing that is going to be coming up later in this and is set up in this episode is, what the hell is Arensu doing? Because Arensu in this episode is up to some shady shit, dog. I mean, she is up to some shady shit. So it is revealed that she was actually getting funding for some kind of research from Deborah. But Goma is considering taking away her funding. Now, she's probably not too happy about that. She's probably not too happy about that at all. So we find out in this episode that she actually went to Earth ahead of Degasu, Goma, and the old ass Namekian. All right. She went ahead of them. She went to Earth on her own. Why? What is she up to? What is she trying to do? Now, this is just rumors that I've heard. So take this with a grain of salt. Take this with a huge grain of salt. But the rumors that I've heard is that Arensu's research involves creating a new version of Majin Buu. Her own version of Majin Buu. So she's trying to pull a Bibbidi, essentially. And she's trying to create a new Buu. So we may get a new version of Majin Buu. Possibly. Now, that's not confirmed. I've not seen anything that confirms it. It's not like an official leak. That's just the rumors going on, is that she is going to be creating a new version of Buu, a new Majin Buu. Which makes a lot of sense because Majin Buu is pretty fucking impressive. I mean, you got to think about this, man. Like, everybody knows who Buu is. Anybody knows who Buu is. The Kais know who Buu is. Beerus knows who Buu is. Well, no, Beerus didn't know who Buu is, which is kind of shocking that Beerus didn't know. But Frieza and King Cold knew who Buu was. The demons know who Buu is. I mean, there's a lot of people that know about Majin Buu. So it makes sense that maybe she would want to try and create her own Majin Buu. That may end up being the true enemy, because right now it's set up to where Goma is the main villain, the main bad guy of this series. But it may end up being the case that it's not Goma. It's actually like this new version of Majin Buu. Which, again, like people will say, why would they do that? Guys, come on. It's Toriyama. Toriyama brought back Frieza. He created a new version of Cell with Cell Max. Would it really surprise you that in this series we do a Majin Buu Redux? Would that really surprise anybody? Like, come on. So that's the rumor regarding her research. That may be what she's up to. She's trying to craft her own Buu, which is interesting. Very interesting. And I'd kind of be interested to see what this Buu looks like. Oh yeah, the other thing I do want to bring up, and that is the situation with Supreme Kai and Kibito Kai. And this is hold on, I gotta get a drink before I talk about this because this is kind of frustrating. I love Dragon Ball fans, but sometimes they go off on these weird tangents. All right, so in Dragon Ball Daima, Supreme Kai, Shen, and Kibito are separated. Remember, at the end of the Buu saga, after the fight with Kid Buu, they had fused into Kibito Kai using the Potara earrings. Okay. They're separated in this series. And it is revealed the way they got separated was that they allowed the fat Majin Buu to absorb them. And just like how Vegito, his fusion was dissolved and he returned back into Goku and Vegeta. When Kibito Kai was absorbed by Fat Buu, the Potara fusion was dissolved inside of Fat Buu, and they split back into Shen and Kibito. Okay. Makes sense. And then, of course, Buu spit them out because Buu's not evil. He's not going to keep them inside of him forever. He's not evil anymore. This would contradict what we see later on in Super. Because by the time we get to Dragon Ball Super, at the very beginning of Dragon Ball Super, during the Battle of Gods arc, when Beerus first awakens, Kibito Kai is still a thing. Shen and Kibito are still Kibito Kai. So it makes you wonder, okay, how are they separate in Daima, which takes place before Super, but then by Super they're fused back into Kibito Kai? People have said that this plot point, this seeming plot inconsistency, retcons all of Dragon Ball Super, which is absolutely insane. Are you crazy? Are you like this one little plot point, this one little seeming plot inconsistency retcons all of Dragon Ball Super? No, it does not. What are you talking about? Look, the obvious answer to this is that at some point in Daima, Kibito and Shen are going to fuse back together. They're going to become Kibito Kai again. Now, they do defuse later in Super because they use the Namekian Dragon Balls to do that in Super. But at some point in Daima, they're going to refuse. They're going to become Kibito Kai again. Why? Probably to deal with some kind of threat. More than likely, I mean, I could see a situation. Imagine this. Imagine you have a situation where Degasu and Arensu, I don't know how that would work. They're different genders. I mean, well, then again, hold up. Old Kai did fuse with the witch, and they were different genders. So there's precedence for this. So let's just say at some point, like Degasu and Arensu fuse together using the Potara. All right. So now we have this fused Makaio Shen, right? Okay, at that point, Shen might be like, hey, Kibito, if we're going to beat this guy, we need to fuse back together. And they fuse back into Kibito Kai to fight the fusion of Degasu and Arensu. And that explains why they're Kibito Kai in Dragon Ball Super. This idea that, oh, they're not Kibito Kai and Daima, therefore all of Super is retconned. Are you nuts? Like, I get it. Super has its problems. Super is not perfect. Super has a lot of flaws. I get it, man. But Super is the canon continuation of the story, of Toriyama's story. Love it or hate it, it is what it is. And you can't change that. So this whole idea that, oh, Daima's going to retcon Super. No, it's not, dog. Trust me. At some point in Daima, Kibito and Shin are going to fuse back into Kibito Kai. And that plot point, that seeming plot inconsistency is not going to be an inconsistency. All right? I don't know what the circumstances are going to be that brings it about, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. People are crazy, dog. People are nuts. People are... All right. Anyways, I guess I'll end off the review like this. So the other prediction, and this is not a prediction for episode 2, but this is just a prediction for the series as a whole. I get a lot of GT vibes from this series. And so because of that, I'm telling you, man, they want to make money. They want to sell toys. There's a precedence for this. I think we're going to get a canon version of Super Saiyan 4. It will probably not be called Super Saiyan 4. It may not be called Super Saiyan, period. It may just be like some alternate Saiyan form that's not related to Super Saiyan at all. But it's going to obviously be inspired from Super Saiyan 4. It's going to have the look of Super Saiyan 4 to some degree. I think we're going to get it. Because Goku doesn't have access to the God forms, and they're gonna give him another form, man. That they sell toys. That's how they sell merchandise. All right. I'm telling you, man, we're going to get some canonized version of Super Saiyan 4. I don't know what it's gonna look like, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen in this series. There's too many GT vibes, bro. There's too many GT vibes. And in fact, let's look. I'm sure there's some fan art here. What people think Super Saiyan 4 is going to look like. Yeah, you have like a kid version of Super Saiyan 4, which I do wonder, like, if they actually have like a Super Saiyan 4 form or a Super Saiyan 4 inspired form. I do wonder if they're going to keep Goku as a kid in the form or if he's going to age back up into an adult. I don't know, dog. I don't know. It could be something like this, like a Sun Wukong type of form. Like I was talking about this on Ruby King's stream last night, and I talked about this on Katie's stream Friday, that it could be like some kind of like a were Saiyan, maybe. It could be a were Saiyan where it's like a werewolf type of transformation, but it's a were monkey, but it's like humanoid instead of the Uzaru. It could be a Sun Wukong form. I don't know. But I think he's going to get some kind of Super Saiyan 4-esque form. I think it's going to happen. Ooh, a golden Super Saiyan 4. Ooh, that would be sexy, bro. But I'm telling you, man, I think it's going to happen. And oh, man, I hope it. Oh, God. Because I love Super Saiyan 4, man. Like, Super Saiyan 4 is. Look at this. All right, so this is made to look like a leaked. This is made to look like a leaked image. This is fake. I know this is fake, dog. I know this is fake, but we could get something like this. But I think it could be like a Sun Wukong type of thing. What is that? Ooh, that kind of looks sexy. That's fake, but it kind of looks sexy. But it could be like a Sun Wukong type of thing. It could be like a were Saiyan type of thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I think we're going to get something that's going to be inspired from Super Saiyan 4. I think it's happening. Now, this ties into something else that is going around in the rumor mill, and I do want to address it tonight. And that is this. That is simply this. That apparently Dragon Ball Daima may not be Toriyama's last work. We all assumed that it was Toriyama's last work, but it may not be Toriyama's last work. And the reason why I say that is this. There is a rumor going around that there is actually another Dragon Ball movie in production. A Dragon Ball Super movie is actually in production right now. And apparently, according to the rumor, this Dragon Ball Super movie was worked on by Akira Toriyama before his death. He did writing for this film, the supposed film that may or may not be in production, that is rumored to be in production. Apparently, Toriyama did work on this movie. And according to the rumor, Dragon Ball Daima is going to connect to this movie. It's going to tie in to this upcoming Dragon Ball Super movie. I think the connection could be this. I think it could be this. If Goku gets a Super Saiyan 4 type of form in Dragon Ball Daima, you have to ask the question, why did he never use this in Super? It may be the case that this form is something he can only use in the demon realm. It's something he only has access to in the demon realm. So he can't use it in the regular universe. He can't use it outside of the demon realm. And it may be that something in the demon realm triggers his transformation. Hell, who knows? Maybe Saiyans are somehow related to demons. Wouldn't that be wild? I don't know. Am I stretching or am I cooking? I don't know. But it may be that this form is something Goku only has access to the demon realm. Something about the demon realm environment allows him to use this form. And that would explain why he never uses it in Super. Because he's not in the demon realm. Now, what if, though, this form makes a comeback later on in Super? Not with Goku or Vegeta, but with another character. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one, the only, of course, it is my man, Broly. That's right. Super Saiyan 4 Broly, or Super, or Primal Saiyan, whatever you want to call it, whatever it's going to be called. Demon Saiyan. Fuck it. Demon Saiyan Broly. Now, why do I say that Broly might be able to get this form? Because remember what we saw in the Broly movie. Ikari Broly. Ikari Broly. What is Ikari Broly? It is Broly using the power of the Uzaru in human form. That's literally what Ikari is. Ikari is Broly using the Uzaru power in human form. It is him tapping into the Uzaru power, that 10 times multiplier in his humanoid form. That sounds a lot like Super Saiyan 4. More so, it sounds like a precursor to Super Saiyan 4. So, because Broly is a freak of nature, he's a mutant, it may be that Broly has access to this Primal Saiyan form, this canon Super Saiyan 4, innately, naturally. Maybe Goku and Vegeta can only access that power when they're in the demon realm, but Broly, because he's a freak of nature, because he's basically a mutant, he has access to this power just innately. He doesn't have to be in the demon realm. He's just got it. So the tie-in between the new movie and Dragon Ball Daima may be this Super Saiyan 4-esque form. This canonized Super Saiyan 4 form. This evolution of Ikari. This Primal Saiyan form. And that may be the connection. That may be how Daima connects to this new movie that is rumored to be in production. And the new movie is going to be a Broly film. Not with Broly as the main antagonist, as we saw in Super Broly, but rather a new Super movie with Broly as the main protagonist. Just like how Gohan was the main protagonist and superhero, Broly may be the protagonist of this new movie. And I think Broly does need to get some kind of new form because Goku's now got much better control over Ultra Instinct. Vegeta has Ultra Ego. Gohan is Gohan Beast. Broly, if he's going to keep up, he needs a new form of his own. Why not canonize Super Saiyan 4 and make that Broly's thing? I think that would make a lot of sense. I think it would make a lot of sense. A lot of sense. So that's my theory. Could I be wrong? Yeah, possibly. But that's my theory. That's my theory. All right. So I look forward to episode 2. Episode 2 of Dragon Ball Daima is coming out this Friday. I cannot wait for it. Of course, I'm going to be doing a review for it. I'm going to try and get a review out sooner than what I did for this. I just had a lot of shit going on over the weekend. But I'm going to try. My goal is to, because I'm not going to be able to do it on Fridays because I like to jump over into Katie's stream on Friday. And we talk about Daima over there. We talk about anime over there. Which, by the way, you guys need to go check it out. Subscribe to Katie Did's channel. Check us out every Friday over there on her anime show. But I'm going to try and get a review of Dragon Ball Daima out every Saturday morning. That is my goal. That is my goal, is to have a Dragon Ball Daima review out every Saturday morning going forward. All right, that being said, man, I think that's going to do it for this one. I thank you guys for tuning in. I thank you guys for watching. Tell me your thoughts on Dragon Ball Daima, man. Are you excited? Did you love that first episode? I thought it was amazing. I loved it. It felt more like old school Dragon Ball. And I don't mean like the original Dragon Ball series. I mean like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, like the old era of Dragon Ball, back when we were growing up. It felt like that, man. I loved it. I love the vibes from this episode. I love the story. I love the lore drop. I love all. Oh, before I forget, there's one thing I need to bring up, man. I almost forgot about this. This is the last plot point I wanted to hit up, and then we'll call it a stream. Let me see if I can. I don't even remember the name of it. Dagnabbit. I almost completely forgot about this plot point. But I do want to bring it up real quick. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Evil Third Eye. All right. So there is this thing called the Evil Third Eye. It's a legendary, get off my screen, is a legendary Tetran Oculus that was passed down between the kings of the Demon Realm before becoming lost during Abora's reign, during the reign of Deborah's father. A third eye. Who do we know in the series has a third eye? It's our boy Tien Shinhan. He has a third eye. Dude, there's this random ass artifact known as the third eye, the evil eye, that's been passed down throughout from one demon king to the next. And at some point it got lost. What do you think the chances are that Tien's eye is actually this legendary demon eye, this legendary evil eye that was lost, and somehow Tien found it? Holy shit. Is Dragon Ball Daima about to make Tien relevant again? Is Tien actually about to become relevant again? Like, this guy's got shitted on so much over the years. Is he actually about to become relevant again? I'm throwing it out there right now. The third evil eye they mentioned in Daima, I think it's Tien's eye. That's my theory. Tien has the demon eye. Tien has the third eye. And he's going to activate some super crazy power with it and get some kind of crazy power up. That, I'm calling it right now. Tien's got the third eye that was lost in the demon realm. All right, that's my final crazy wacky theory for the night. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. I'll see you guys later. Going to be doing Daima reviews going forward. I'm loving this series, man. This series is awesome. I can't wait. And it's a great, it's great until Super comes back, man. I mean, whenever that's going to be. Like, right now we're eating good, and Toriyama, I think, has left us with a real gem. Daima is looking so good. Toriyama left us with something good, man. Rest in peace, Toriyama. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Much appreciated. I'll check you guys later. This is JeskerJames with a Z. And guys, I am signing out.